Welcome into the In the Money podcast for Wednesday, October 17th. Tom Leach along with Jim Goodman as we take a look at the late pick four on the Wednesday card. No graded stakes, so we'll just go right in order, starting in the fifth with the $40,000 claiming race, or the claiming tag $40,000, mile and a 16th. And Jim, where did you land?
Well, it's a very competitive race. I started to go light in here, and I wound up singling later in the card. So I think Langdharma is probably going to be the favorite in here, but that race at Churchill didn't really do anything. I mean, he was on the inside, and maybe that he didn't like the inside post, but he went off at 3-1, never really threatened the winner. Line Judge won that race and came back and won again. So it was a strong race. I'm thinking go back to Indiana for him at a $40,000 optional claimer level, and he won by 2.25. So I think he's going to be the favorite here, but I didn't feel good about singling him. I'm going to use him along with All About Ashley, the 3, coming off a really good win at Indiana as well. The 6-horse Rich Daddy for Eddie Kennelly. Not a very good race at Churchill, but same race that came out of the Line Judge and come out of Langdharma. So that Rich Daddy is better than that. If you go back to his last year form, he was really strong. The 10-horse Jared for Brad Cox, never leaves out Brad Cox. And I think the 5-horse Shareholder Value has some value, forgive the pun, but David Vance for Le Peru at 6-1. So I'm going to go 5 deep here. Langdharma is probably my win pick, but not a real strong opinion.
I ended up for the win pick just going to Shareholder Value because David Vance claims this horse, and usually when he's seriously trying to get the money, he goes to Julian Le Peru. So he claims the horse and immediately reaches out to Julian to ride, and the horse has a win and a second in 3 starts here. So I'm going to take Shareholder Value for the win pick, but I'm going to use Rich Daddy. Capital Letters, I thought had a little trouble last time. 3rd start off the layoff. I'm going to use that one, and also going to use All About Ashley. So I'm going 4 deep in there. 6th race is a turf sprint. Allowance race for non-winners of 2 other than. I ended up on Belgian in here for Wesley Ward. I thought that the horse that's the likely favorite is Snapper Sinclair, and that horse has a class edge, but it's coming off a long layoff, and I thought I would try to beat Snapper Sinclair just on that angle. So I'm going to take Belgian to win. Has run 3 times here with a win and a second. The 87 buyer last time against a good field is a nice number. That was the first off the layoff in the second outing for a new barn. So this horse could improve. So I thought that was my win pick. I'm certainly use Snapper Sinclair. I'm going to use Charmel Chic because Hembry came out of the race this horse ran in last time at Kentucky Downs, came back to win a stake last weekend at Woodbine. And the last 2 are the lifetime best buyers for this horse, so definitely want that one on my ticket. And then the 4, Lindbergh's Kitten, a really impressive winner visually down at Kentucky Downs. And the speed figure came back pretty good. So step up in class here. But that's Mike Maker trains that one and Belgian. Somebody who's both of those. Could actually be talked into throwing Totally Boss in there, but I'm going to leave that one out for budgetary purposes. So I'm going 4 deep in there, but Belgian's the slight nod for the win pick in the 6th. How about your ticket?
Yeah, I don't know what it is about these Wednesday cards, but it seems like Ben Huffman, when he wrote these races, they came up really tough, and I couldn't find a strong favorite here. I think Belgian is one of the horses you got to use. Lindbergh's Kitten. I think Snapper Sinclair will get a lot of betting simply on the stakes races he ran last year, but his form on dirt is much better than turf, and we're not getting any rain in the schedule, so I think it is going to be on turf. So I don't like Snapper Sinclair coming to the outside post if I haven't had on turf at all. I think he's a good play against. I'm also going to use the 7 in here, Totally Boss, the one that you said you weren't going to use. Student Body Left is one that you didn't mention that comes off some really good races at Arlington Park, both on the poly and the turf. And Joe Bravo rides, and Joe occasionally throws in a winner here and there. And then I can go 5 or 6 deep here, but I suppose if you made me pick a winner, it would probably be Lindbergh's Kitten off that race at Kentucky Downs. But I'm going to go 5 or 6 deep when we get to pick 4.
Seventh race is an allowance optional claimer for 2-year-old fillies going 6 furlongs. Where did you go on this one?
Well, it's another one that I really didn't have a strong opinion. I went all outside here, which bothers me a little bit on 6 furlongs, but I think the strength is in the outside with Wesley Ward, the 6 Abacote Dream, the 7 Fightress with Dorm Cassie, the 9 horse Midnight Karma with Asmussen. Probably Bell's the one off that 75 buyer at Arlington. Don't know how she'll transfer that form over to the dirt, but that's a very strong buyer on that surface up there. And then the 11 Street Band for Larry Jones and Saez. So I'm going to go all outside here. Not a strong win pick. Probably Norm Cassie with Fightress would be my win play if I did one. But again, deep in the pick 4.
Yeah, I thought Fightress I liked a lot in here. I thought this is the softest spot for this filly since her really nice maiden win at Churchill. They put her into a grade 3 at Saratoga off that win, so that was a very bold and confident move. She's got a really sharp work coming into this on October 3rd at Churchill, so I think maybe in the softer spot she could run big here. And so I'm probably only going to go 2 deep in here just for budgetary reasons. Bingwa is the other one. Really took a lot of money in the debut, and the runner-up came back to win, and this one's got some speed, so I'm going to use those 2, but I would like to go deeper. Marvelous Martina I thought was a little interesting. Ian Wilkes doesn't win first out very often, and this one did, and then caught pretty good field in the subsequent start. Midnight Karma I liked also, but I'm going to Fightress is going to be my win pick in there, and I'm only going to go 2 deep. 8th race is a starter allowance at 1 1/8 on the turf. I like Blue Loot in here. The first start for Maker showed improvement, an 82 buyer. Second off the left, a 20% win rate for Maker. First time versus winners is a question mark, but I'm going to use that one for the win pick. But I also want Ghostess B here. The horse has won here on this track and has a nice win last month for his last start. Discovered the 9 was second in a stake last time at 1 1/8, and 7 first or second finishes in 13 starts, so fairly consistent horse. And then I'm going to use Hello Holiday too. It's only 2 1/4 behind Ghostess B here last time, so if I like Ghostess B here, I figure I need to throw this one on the ticket as well. So I'm going to go 4 deep in the last leg. How about you?
Well, I have a budget problem since I haven't singled till now, so I got a single one, and I'm going to pick Discovered. I thought that race at Churchill on a good turf course last out got the lead from the inside post, so they had to send him, and they won't have to do that from the 9 hole, although I think he's quick enough to get the lead. You go 2 back at Arlington off the turf, and he stalked the pace and won by 5, so he's good on the turf, off the turf. Declan Cannon takes the mount again, and Declan's had a couple wins already here with a couple of surprises. So I'm going to take Discovered here and take a stand. I like Blue Loot, but I don't like him off a maiden 75, stepping up in the starter allowance and going against winners first time. And Ghostess B here is probably my next choice. Secondi might be a long shot on the outside, getting a little bit better, and comes back after not a great run, but only got beat by 3 lengths in an allowance race here, and comes back for the second time at Keeneland. Not many horses do that. But I'm going to take a stand with Discovered, the 9 horse.
My pick 4 ticket is a $64 one. I've got 1, 3, 5, 6 with 2, 4, 6, 10, just 3 and 7 in the third leg, and then 2, 3, 6, 9 in the last. And for you?
I've got $75. I go 3, 5, 6, 9, 10 with 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10 with 6, 7, 9, 10, 11 with 9 for $75.
Best of luck on the Wednesday card, and we'll be back for a Thursday edition of the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com.